Conspiracy theories, eh? Wait till you get a load of this.
Hello, and welcome to Cracked Sisters Conspiracies. We're a podcast that covers conspiracy theories, mysteries, and all of our spooky shit. My name's Jackie.
And I'm Cassandra.
And we are said sisters.
Hello again.
Wow, so long. Farewell.
No, we're not leaving.
So long, so see. What's the expression I'm trying to think of? I don't know.
It's been a while since I've seen you.
God, I feel like there's an expression like on the tip of my tongue that I can't think of. That's okay.
It'll come to us at some inopportune moment.
It will.
But anyway, this is a week later in podcast time, but really like 5 minutes later in recording
Actual time.
Which is probably good. We should hammer out a couple over the next... Because I don't want to do shit through the end of the year. I need a break.
I know. And I really hate editing either the night before or rushing the day up to try to get it out by like 3 p.m. It gives me anxiety, but I know it's always so hard to like try to do the back-to-back episodes.
It is, but we'll persevere. I will be fading, I'm sure, partway through, but
That's
stick
okay.
it out.
I just talked about last episode. Do you know what show I am obsessed with currently that I hate myself for?
Is it a reality show?
Yes.
Oh. What network is it on?
I can't tell you that because that will give it away.
Is it a Bravo?
No.
Is it?
Oh, it's not on like a television.
Secret Lives of Mormon Wives?
Yeah. I told myself I wouldn't watch it, that I had no interest in it. My hairdresser's like, bitch, I don't even know you that well, and I know you would love this show. And I'm like, no, I wouldn't. And then for some reason, 3 days ago, I decided to watch a random episode, and I just finished it. I binge watched the whole entire season, and I'm obsessed.
So I watched little bits. I primarily consumed it via TikTok because that's, but it's easier to digest that way. And I don't feel as guilty watching it.
That's true.
But them bitches be crazy. 44-ounce sodas because they don't drink alcohol.
But they do like ketamine and like other and laughing gas.
They were just walking hypocrisy.
Yeah, it was very interesting. And like even Alex was like, these stupid shows, and then he's just sitting there like watching it. I'm like, are you gonna leave? And he's like, yeah, it's at some point.
It's when you start inching closer, and then eventually they're sitting on the couch right next to you, and then the commentary starts. Been like, I thought you weren't engaged. I thought you didn't like it.
All he just says is, this is stupid. I'm like, then leave. You can happily leave.
Right? You are fully in control of your own body as far as we know.
Exactly.
Could be a rat up there, but you know.
A rat up there?
Yeah, you know, he doesn't have a chef's hat on, but it could be some Ratatouille situation where Alex isn't really in control of himself. It's some other creature.
You lost me for a second. Speaking of Ratatouille hats.
Blame the...
Mucinex, it's not even NyQuil.
The NyQuil is gone, so I had to, or the honey NyQuil's out there, and I didn't want to grab it. It's supposed to make me drowsy too.
Anyway, speaking of chef's hat, Alex and I are going to do Christmas cards this year.
Oh, okay.
And that's the only hint you get. That's chef's hats.
Chef's hats with chefs. With pots, are you guys going to be taking pictures of shit stirs? Because that's what you guys do in the family.
That wasn't our intention originally.
Well, you know what? You can have that idea for free.
There we go. The dogs will be in it as well, hopefully.
Oh, I love that. Okay, look forward to seeing it. We've never taken pictures as a family together, so.
You guys took one with Santa once.
Grace.
When Grayson was maybe an infant.
I don't think Evan was in that picture.
No.
And like we've never had professional photos.
Oh no, we're taking it ourselves.
Oh,
we're trying to get a tripod and like tying it right.
Never mind. I was thinking it was something else. Okay.
No.
Well, then I'm even more excited to see it.
Me too.
But anyway, let's talk about underwear instead.
Oh my God. Yes. So today we are going to be talking about the Fruit of the Loom conspiracy. Do you know anything about it?
So what I know is that it's a Mandela effect. The
allegedly.
allegedly, the whole cornucopia being there versus not being there. We had brought it up in a couple episodes when you mentioned it initially, that there was someone who had proof that the cornucopia version existed, but Fruit of the Loom themselves was like, no, you're
Correct.
crazy.
You're
And was
on
like,
the right path.
are
Yeah.
they gaslighting people into believing?
Possibly.
Okay.
So the reason right before we started recording, I told you to get a drink, even though you were choosing NyQuil. Anyone who's listening to this, if you're at home or just chilling, this is your time to pause this, go get a beverage, and then come back, because this episode is going to be a drinking game.
Okay.
And how we're going to play it is every time someone says cornucopia, you're going to take a drink.
Okay, let me write that down.
Because as I was doing my notes, I'm like, gosh, I'm writing this word a lot. And then I thought would be a perfect drinking game. So
do you have a count of how many times it is said in your...
Not off the top of my head. I was going to keep a real
tally
during both the Patreon and the free version, so everyone can kind of keep along. But technically, I think you're 3 behind already. So
you know what? Let's put that in there just for funsies. I'm drinking water. I don't have any alcohol, and I'm not ready to dive into the
NyQuil. Yeah. That's okay. You go at your own pace.
Okay.
All right. So in June of 2023, a Reddit post divided the internet with a single question. That question being, when did the clothing company Fruit of the Loom get rid of the cornucopia on their logo? From there, people were divided. Oh, yeah, I'm supposed to drink too, huh? From there, people were divided. You had those who believed that Fruit of the Loom always had a brown cornucopia in the back of their logo behind some various different fruits. And then you have those who say, no, you're crazy. There was never a cornucopia in the logo. It's going to be really hard to talk and do.
You know what? Let me do that. You just get the words out.
So from that Reddit post, the debate quickly moved to social media, and one TikToker in particular has been dubbed the main girl when it comes to this specific conspiracy. Her name is Nicole, and her TikTok handle is @DimeLifting, in case anyone wanted to check her out. I'm sure you yourself, Cassie, had probably seen her at least in one video. She does like these really...
Is it like close up?
Blair Witch style.
With like her nostrils always like...
And then her eyes are really big with like spider lashes, and she like never fucking blinks.
Yes, I know exactly who you're talking about.
So from what I could find, the first video, I think, where she mentioned the Fruit of the Loom conspiracy was in November of 2023. And she has since had a viral video, which she posted on December 10th, 2023. So if you guys wanted to go check those videos, you can. In the viral particular video, she claims that she had gotten to the bottom of the conspiracy theory and that someone named Claire really came through for her. She continues to talk about a newspaper article that she found that states that Fruit of the Loom indeed had a cornucopia in its logo and that they are gaslighting everyone to believe that it was never actually there. Apparently, the logo that everyone can picture inside of their mind when you talk about the logo was actually created in 2023 by an artist based on his memory and everyone's collective memory.
Okay.
Open up your email, because I sent you an email with the logo so you can follow along.
Okay. Oh,
so they're in order. So just start at the top. Okay. So which logo looks correct to you? And they'll be on the screen for those.
I mean, the top one looks correct, but I also know that I've been told that the bottom one's how it is, but that doesn't feel right.
When you first heard about this conspiracy, did you
Cornucopia?
Cornucopia? Okay. Exactly. That's what I thought as well. That was 2, by the way.
Yeah.
So in Nicole's many TikToks, there is mention of an original Fruit of the Loom trademark request.
Okay.
So I found an image posted in Reddit from a user titled @electronic_floor_986. I doubt this person was the first person to ever, post this image or whatever, but because I use them as a source, I'm going to reference them. In this photo, it was trademarked an application which was filed on November 12th, 1973 by Fruit of the Loom. You should have it there in front of you.
I do.
And listed in the application is the company's name, the goods and services, the drawing code, and then design search codes. Next to the drawing code section are presumably all of the visible items within a logo that if someone were to search, that would help populate that logo. So they kind of come up with it themselves. So they have listed berries such as raspberries and strawberries, grapes and apples. And at the bottom, they have basket of fruits, containers of fruit, cornucopia, horn of plenty.
Mm.
So people are like, this is proof that you guys applied for a trademark in 1973 saying that you had a cornucopia in your logo. Fruit of the Loom, they decided that they weren't just going to sit back, they were going to get involved in this conspiracy theory.
Oh, okay.
Generally, these stupid conspiracy theories come, people talk about them, they obsess about them for a minute, and then they kind of just go, and no one really gives it a second thought. But Fruit of the Loom decided that they were going to really stick with this one. They have actually made many public statements about this entire conspiracy. They have added a Q&A page on their website dedicated to answering all of these questions that we have. And they even have a logo timeline on their website proving that the logo never once contained a cornucopia. That'll be another image that you have of all the, it'll say Fruit of the Loom brand history.
Oh, okay.
So that was their proof that they never had it. And this to me seems like a very suspect move, because why would such a large company take all of that time to recreate their website, add in information, add in these fucking images of all their logos, add in a Q&A page about it if it wasn't in the slightest bit true? Wouldn't you just ignore it if you were a large company?
Right. Yeah, logically.
So their stand, they being Fruit of the Loom, their public stand is that the logo never had a cornucopia. They never applied for a trademark depicting a cornucopia. And basically, if you remember a cornucopia, then you are a victim of the Mandela Effect. And they even link to a page about what is the Mandela Effect in their Q&A page, which I think is fucking rude.
I mean,
it really annoys me. So circling back to that trademark application that I mentioned, looked at, on their frequently asked questions page, they addressed that trademark application and they said, quote, "A recent post on social media appears to have referenced a cropped picture containing only a small portion of the trademark design application, originally applied for in 1973 by Fruit of the Loom. The only portion of the trademark application shown on the social media post was the design code and description," which is what I already mentioned. The baskets, the containers of fruit. I'll give you a pass on that one.
Thanks.
Continuing, these generic descriptions were assigned by the USPTO trademark examiner to make images more searchable, and the design codes are a component of any trademark application for a design trademark. Fruit of the Loom submitted and received a registration for the trademark design, the picture, and then the design words were not included, end quote. So basically, they said a really long paragraph to just say, we have to include an image that we are trying to trademark, and then we have to include search words, as I mentioned, to make it easy for any person to search and find our logo.
Okay.
But if you're going to go with that logic, my thinking is, well, then why would you put in the word basket or cornucopia or container? Because according to them, they only did the fruit by itself. There is no container in which it's held. There's no plate that it's sitting on. So why would you need those type of searchable words if that is not in your image?
Yeah, that's true.
Some people have come up with proof that this is, actually happened and that, we are being gaslit. So proof number one. The TV show Dexter, which we all loved until the last episode.
Until it was a disappointment and I refused to watch the end.
I just finished it again because I wanted to watch his newest spin-off of it.
That's right. Yeah, I guess he's still going to be his normal voice for the narrator, the internal monologue, but it's like a younger version. Is that?
Yeah, well, there's two. There's one that came out 2 years ago. I guess it didn't do too well because it ended. And then now there's this one of him as like a teenager.
Okay, yeah.
So anyway, in Dexter, season 4, episode 9, titled Hungry Man, if you watch it to roughly 7 minutes and 12 seconds or 7 minutes and 20 seconds, depending on where you're watching it and if it has like a recap of the previous episode, you will see Dexter standing in front of a busy Miami Metro Police precinct. His back is up against a glass wall, and there is a literal Fruit of the Loom logo clear as day on the glass wall behind him. 3 seconds later, the camera zooms into Dexter's face, and you very clearly see the big-ass logo behind him showing the cornucopia. And if it isn't clear enough, I actually went to it on Netflix. I took a screenshot of it with the subtitles on. Dexter is having an internal monologue during that scene, and he literally says, quote, "But did it bring in a cornucopia of criminals," end quote.
Let's poke a hole in that one a little bit.
Sure, go ahead. Because I was going to do, but I'll let you do it.
I'm like, it doesn't say Fruit of the Loom at all. And a cornucopia is a thing that's existed outside of Fruit of the Loom. It's like a Thanksgiving thing. So.
That's what I was going to say. So many people have been like, yeah, he says the word cornucopia, but it's supposed to be November in this episode. It's just a literal fall decoration. Why would they have a Fruit of the Loom up in their precinct? That doesn't make any sense. It's just supposed to be meant as decoration, but people kind of associate the C word with Fruit of the Loom. So they like lost their shit and they're like, this is proof, not realizing how dumb they sounded.
Yeah, that one doesn't pass muster with me. So
this next one might a little bit more.
Okay.
So also television related. In season 16, episode 6 of South Park. You shouldn't have looked yet.
Okay, continue.
I should have never gone ziplining. They, as Cass just found out, they zoom in on the inside of Cartman's underwear, which is shit stained, but there is a logo inside of the underwear. And if you zoom into the logo, it's presumably showing the Fruit of the Loom underwear logo, and it includes a cornucopia.
And like the name in the logo is Cornucopia. It looks like Cornucopia beard. Oh, that was 2, by the way. But...
I know I couldn't really see what it says. I'll post it in the video, but
that is very clearly imitating.
Supposed to be Fruit of the Loom.
Yes, and anyone who saw that would think that. I wish I didn't see that, but
no, I meant to warn you before you opened it. But
good Lord.
Okay. So proof number 2. Ever since this conspiracy theory started floating around, people were adamant that the Fruit of the Loom logo did indeed have a cornucopia, and they were certain of it because it was a very pivotal moment in their childhood. Okay. There are so many stories within TikTok, Instagram, etc., that say the only reason they know what the physical word cornucopia was because they were at a store or something and their parents either took that moment to teach it to them or they said, what the hell is that? Sure. And they said, it's a cornucopia. And that's how they learned what that word is. So many people have that distinct childhood memory. They're like, why would it be there had that logo never existed?
Right.
Recently, many people, to kind of combat this, they're like, I'm going to start looking through all of my old clothes and I'm going to see if I can find any old school Fruit of the Loom clothing and see what the logo looks like. So I did that. I don't have any. Then I called mom and I said, did you ever buy Fruit of the Loom? And she's like, no, I bought Granimals or something like that. I'm like, well, you're useless to me. So I don't know if you ever bought it, at least back in the day. I assume probably not based on where we bought our clothing. But if you want to go check real quick.
Yeah, I'm like, hold.
Like, just look at your really old clothes.
Yeah.
Now a quick word from our sponsor. Do you live in the Bay Area? Are you in need of a CPR class for work or just to gain knowledge? Well, look no further because CPR Education has you covered. They host public classes every Saturday in Pleasant Hill, ranging from CPR and first aid, BLS for healthcare providers, infant essentials for new and expecting parents, and EMSA-approved courses for licensed childcare providers. Whatever need you have, CPR Education has a solution. Go to cpredu.com and use code CRACKED for 20% off any public class. That's CRACKED, and you'll get 20% off any class of your choosing. CPR Education, keeping people together.
Okay, so I went to my husband's drawer.
Oh, there you go.
Because he has all of these Fruit of the Loom undershirts.
Oh,
but it's hard to tell. There's no cornucopia. It's just fruit, and he's had these. Some of them for like 10 years, but I think there's some that are even older. So I might have to look for one that's all ratty and gross that, men always keep.
Maybe you can still see the logo though. That's the question.
Yeah. Anyway, there's a whole pocket of them there. I don't want to do laundry right now.
So a lot of people went through their clothes like you and I did, but some people did find old t-shirts. They're very faded and they took a picture of the logo and it very clearly shows the cornucopia. And they're like, son of a bitch, this is proof.
Yeah.
This isn't, I don't know what is. But a lot of people were like, I don't know about that. They're like, if you're seeing it, it's either photoshopped because there's no way it's real, or it is a knockoff from Colombia. Because I guess right now, or like in 2023 when this started, Apparently, allegedly, Colombia is like, we need to start manufacturing knockoff Fruit of the Loom
of all
with
things.
the logo, including a cornucopia, to make people think it's real. I don't know. So that's their version of like poo-pooing it.
That's weird.
I think that's weird. Why would you Photoshop your old ass t-shirt?
I feel like so much effort would be going in on either side, whether to like put in a cornucopia that doesn't exist or to completely erase it from history. Yeah, the company spending all of this time on it is very weird.
It's very suspicious, yes. So proof number 3. Many cornucopia believers distinctly remember seeing the Fruit of the Loom commercials on TV as a kid while they were watching, cartoons. It was just one of the commercials. Sure. It was usually grown men dressed in fruit suits.
That I remember.
And I have a vivid memory of it. There was some even more recent, as of like maybe 2010s or something like that. And so I went on YouTube and I tried to look back at some of the old school Fruit of the Loom commercials. And I even watched one from like 1979 or something like that. And it was very weird, but I did not see a cornucopia in it. At one point during a very old one from maybe the 80s, the video quality was very grainy and you could see like there was maybe some brown leaves around the fruit bundle. And if I guess you looked at it and squinted, it kind of could resemble a C, but that's kind of pushing it in my opinion. But just because it doesn't mean it doesn't happen. So now we're going to go into the reasonings on why people think this conspiracy exists or why they think it even came to fruition in the first place. Reason number 1 is just simply, as you mentioned, that it's a Mandela effect. I mean, a Mandela effect is a phenomenon where a group of people... where a group of people share a false memory of an event or an image, typically one that was popular in culture and history.
Mm-hmm.
We, as a podcast, covered the Mandela Effect back in season 1, episode 24. If you wanted to go give it a listen, Cassie yelled at us because she didn't do a book report on Nelson Mandela.
Her book publisher encouraged her to investigate more than I did. So she started a website dedicated to documenting other instances where the Mandela effect happened online. What? If I were to ask you what's the name of the website? No. Bare bones facts. Cool. So, okay. Now that we've established, I'm just not going to ask any questions. I didn't do a book report on Nelson Mandela, okay?
Because I asked one follow-up question.
I mean, and it was a totally logical, natural follow-up question, too. I really should have anticipated
It's okay.
That.
We were only 24 episodes in at that point, so I give us a pass, I guess. Okay, so reason number 2 is kind of a mixture of reasonings. Part of it is that it's a Mandela effect. You kind of have to accept that. And the other part is that the Fruit of the Loom loves a good marketing scheme. Are you okay?
Hold on. Continue. There was a very loud crash that came from my child's room, followed by a "I'm good" shortly after. So
that's fine. Okay, so as I mentioned, it's either a mix of a Mandela effect and a marketing scheme.
Mm-hmm.
Many people believe that Fruit of the Loom jumped on board just at the right time and that they're kind of going along with this in order to get followers, get promotions, get more money, and just kind of stay relevant.
And they probably have Gen Z running their marketing department who knows how to make shit viral.
They do, because they have so many videos right now of just, oh, can't you believe you guys ever thought we had a cornucopia? And they're just fucking trolling everybody online.
That's 100%.
Their videos on TikTok.
Okay, that seems to be a trend in marketing, which I am here for it. That shit is hilarious.
Have you ever seen the page of McDonald's and Wendy's Twitter accounts where they just fucking roast each other and it's the best thing ever?
I am here for all of that kind of stuff. I love seeing personality come through, even if it's at the lower levels. That shit needs to go up to the CEOs. Better watch yourself.
It's entertaining. Yeah,
it is.
I agree. Lastly is reason number 3, which is what my personal reasoning is. But before I tell you it, I need to mention a Mandela effect of my own.
Mm-hmm.
So not too long ago, I can't be exact on the date because the note app I use does not keep track of when I added in specific notes.
Oh.
But I had been watching Instagram videos, which is just TikTok videos, and I saw a video of a female who was not Nicole, not Eyeball Girl. And she asked the question, where the fuck did the cornucopia go? And this was the first time I had ever heard of it. It was a multi-part series that this chick did. Eventually, she found an old t-shirt and she's like, this is my proof. I know I'm onto something. And it was very interesting to watch her. In another video of hers, she claimed to have found some sort of declassified website, whether it was like a Freedom of Information Act or I don't know what it was or how she came across it. But basically, she's like, this website lays out that the government and the Fruit of the Loom have an agreement, whether it's monetary or, mutually beneficial or whatever, where Fruit of the Loom agreed to remove all of their cornucopia from their website, from their product moving forward, from their logo timeline back in the day, etc. And the reason that they wanted to do this, again, Fruit of the Loom maybe gets money, maybe they get notoriety, whatever it is, but the government's portion of it, they're like, we're doing an experiment to see how much we can make the general public forget. We want to see how far we can push this to where we make people doubt their own memories. We make people weary of their own mind playing tricks on them. People are pulling out clothing saying, this is mine from 1990. And they go, no, it's not. It's Photoshopped. No, it's not. That's a Columbia knockoff, obviously. So they're literally gaslighting people into believing this. And I can't find that fucking video anywhere. I cannot find that creator. I can only find Nicole, who is like listed as the OG girl. But I'm like, I didn't hear it from her. And Nicole got on the bandwagon afterward. So it's like they erased her fucking video or something. And I didn't save it at the time. And I'm kicking myself for it because normally I save videos, but I didn't start doing that until somewhat recently.
Okay. So I could totally get behind to get on board for the government fucking gaslighting everyone in an attempt to erase historical facts to then override them for the future generations, which is a big concern with a lot of the things that could potentially be happening in the coming years. Oh my God. Yeah. And so they're just, this is the testing phase before they
and it's
roll
like,
it
what
out.
if that's what Mandela effects are? They're literal just government experiments.
It's government suppression
of very popular things that everyone would have had a memory of to see how far they can make people doubt themselves and truly believe what they want them to believe.
And knowing what we know about other government experiments that have taken place that are like
100 fucking
well documented. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. But in Nicole's video, Eyeball Girl, she says in the beginning, as I mentioned, she said Claire really pulled through and found.
Yeah, who the fuck was Claire?
I don't know.
Was Claire the original?
That's what I think. So I have been Googling for the past 3 days. Claire TikTok, Claire Cornucopia, Claire Fruit of the Loom. And nothing is fucking coming up except Nicole's videos because she has dominated the search history when it comes to this topic. But it's driving me fucking insane. I know I saw it. I know the girl was like blonde or dirty blonde and she was maybe in her 30s, late 30s. That's all I fucking remember. I know if I saw her face, I would remember it, but she has seemingly been scrubbed from the internet. So I'm having my own personal Mandela effect right now. But yeah, basically that's it. So, and I couldn't help thinking about like Nazi deniers.
Yeah.
This is like people that truly believe for whatever reason that concentration camps and that basically everything in World War II never happened. And it's like they can brainwash their children into thinking that or people that are close to them. But you have the internet. So it's like, how are you ever going to make a mass community forget something? But it's like, what if you're scrubbing shit from the internet? And
if you have that ability.
Yeah. And then
it's
fucking insane.
And then it would only be a matter of a couple of generations to completely eradicate previous events and facts and things, which is terrifying.
And then looking at the comments about these videos, people are like, gosh, it's so crazy how people won't just admit they're fucking wrong. Like they go through all these steps. Just admit that you're wrong. It's like, well, why are you willing to roll over so quickly? If you don't remember it, that's fine. It kind of falls in the Mandela effect.
And what makes you right and me wrong?
Or the timeline, this generation or this group of people, they were in their timeline with the cornucopia. These were not. It could be many different things. I mean, I don't have such a great memory about it. So this is not the hill I'm willing to die on.
Yeah.
But I am willing to die on the fact that I think the government is secretly hooking up with these companies to try to mind fuck us and make us look crazy.
And the government's going to be the one killing you on that hill, by the way.
100%. If I go missing, we know why.
But yeah, I choose door number 3. I agree. I would not at all be surprised if that's really what was happening, which is very scary.
Terrifying, actually. It goes from like a really fun video to, oh, this is really sad.
Like, we need more people like my child that exist, that if she learns or experiences something, she will never let anyone forget about it.
I know, that little bitch.
She needs to be.
That's why when she's older, she's going to listen to every episode. She's going to remember everything we've ever said, and then she'll just have it as reference.
She'll be a historian. She's going to save our country.
I don't know about that based on the information we put into these episodes.
I know.
But yeah, so that is the Fruit of the Loom conspiracy theory. If you have been participating in the drinking game, hopefully you're nice and buzzed as of now.
Well, let's see.
You missed a couple, but what is your running tally?
Let's see. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, approximately 31, give or take.
Okay. Say, this was not my intention, but halfway through I went, God, I use this word a lot. Let's roll with it.
That's like one of the first episodes where I became acutely aware of how frequently I say,
Me too.
Okay.
Or yeah, exactly. But yeah,
that was interesting. Okay, the government's out to get us yet again.
I say that's always the running fucking theme with this show. But yeah, well, do you know what you're gonna cover?
I was just gonna say, considering the fact that this dual meeting was last minute, first off, I'm not prepared for another topic, so no, I don't know.
That's okay.
But at least I don't have to stress about it too much.
No, you got a little time to figure it out.
But I will figure something out. And yes, we will likely be taking a little bit of a hiatus, as we have done in the prior year, going into the holidays and the end of the year, because we're bitches and we're tired. And so now we're tired.
Shit to do. Yeah.
But yeah, in the meantime, you can always follow us on our social medias. We have all of the various platforms that are available, and we welcome and encourage outreach. So give us a holler. You can also visit our website, cracksistersconspiracies.com. We have an email, cracksistersconspiracies@gmail.com. And I'm sure you can find us on any other platform that your heart desires. But just, Google us, say hey. But with that, I'm going to say stay cracked, y'all.
And have a great day.